YouTube was good. It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka Crazy Off. Hey, if it's your first time tuning in, go ahead and hit that doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time I post a new content. Uh, I'm not going to actually really say that I'm riding the coattails of my good friends over there in Hannibal and Monty, but I'm just like, I heard about Herschel Walker running for Senate, right? And so then I actually really, because anything that actually like what Hannibal and Monty them do, I always get a notification because I always like to check out their shows, see what they're talking about, from time to time. So, in our case, so I saw this, and then it dawned on me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I do remember seeing something about Herschel Walker running for Senate, right? And so then, with this whole interview thing, this whole interview piece, they're actually be talking about it. So, I mean, and again, I'm just like, okay, how they talk about it is how they gonna talk about it, right? But when you're the crazy uncle, you may, in a sense, be like, okay, well, all right, well, I know this is how y'all see it, right? But this is how I see it, and this, for the most part, makes me the crazy uncle. So for those of y'all that actually really didn't see the interview with Herschel Walker and these two goons, right? One of them is named Diamond and the other was named Silk, right? And I'm just like, okay, so I'm looking at the names and then I'm looking at them and I'm just like, okay, we'll see how long this lasts, right? So in either case, let's actually really look at Herschel Walker, what he's done, where he come from, and what path he had to take as far as like success. Now, he's been a football player, right? Played in college, played pro, right? Then he retired. Then he went UFC. I mean, I didn't see none of his fights or nothing, right? But from what I've heard or whatever, he didn't do too bad as a UFC fighter. So now his latest and greatest. Okay, now he wants to run for Senate. He wants to. I guess I'm pretty sure it's for the state of Georgia. But in other case, people, I'm looking at, and I already know what a lot of y'all gonna say, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. Because the thing about those, like when you're young and you really don't know no better, then you gonna say a whole lot of shit, right? But then after a while, you ain't young no more. And then for some of y'all, maybe y'all's outlook changes, but I'll be the first one to tell you, well, as far as how my life has gone up until this point, right? At an early age, I always know what the hell I wanted to do. And that was to join the United States Army, be a 5-star general. I say all that in the book or whatever. But my whole deal is this. I always knew what I wanted to do. I always knew what I wanted to capture at an early age. And again, I get it. Everybody don't get that at an early age. So when you get at an early age, and yeah, you got your whole life damn there to practice until you practice up until you get to that one point. Now, for the most part, I cannot say that about Herschel Walker. But my thing is this: if indeed this is what he wanted to do his whole lifetime, is to play professional football. For the most part, that's the main goal, right? And for the most part, I was sitting here and I was watching the interview, right? And for the most part, the story is always the same, right? You grew up in a little small town in the state that you're from, right? Your mama is there to raise you. Daddy ain't nowhere to be found, right? And so you got tired of your mama struggling. So you did what you could as far as like education and sports. You got a scholarship and boom, you're on your way. Then you play your 4 years, you get the Heisman Trophy, right? And then hopefully that the NFL picks you up. But that's when the USFL was in for the first run. They picked him up, they got him, then eventually he came to the NFL. Right? But that's neither here nor there. Right? You played for so long that you got to retire. And like I said, he did the UFC thing. Now all of a sudden you want to run for Senate. And so this is where, like, your change of voice, how you speak, for the most part, it may change. Now, for the most part, it might have always been there. Herschel might have talked this bullshit throughout his career. He had, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he had to learn how to speak when he won the Heisman Trophy. Because you just can't just get up there and just talk any kind of way. So when he won the Heisman Trophy, way back in the day, let's just say for shits and giggles, he got in practice. Throughout his career, throughout his NFL career, throughout his UFC career, he's always been in front of that camera, always been in front of that mic. But now, you running for an office seat. You're not going to talk the same talk that you did when you were playing football or professional sports. Because like I say, I wasn't even 10 minutes into the doggone interview. You was talking about motherfucking slavery. And for the most part, y'all already know how I feel about slavery. Because I'm just looking at the simple fact, okay, so you went on the shores of Africa and people were just waiting for you to capture them. Or did you actually have to go out in the jungles to find these people? And then once you did find them, how was you gonna handle them? Right? If anything, they found you before you found them. Right? Because of your scent, the scent that you brought ticked them off. You can't never fuck with a motherfucker in their own backyard. But in either case, this motherfucker talk about slavery, then this motherfucker, and this is the main reason why I'm doing this show in the first place. This is how you know where you been got. Because here come these two goons, Diamond and Silk, right? But when you actually really stop and think about it, you need to call these two bitches cubic zirconia and polyester. You know, that's what the fuck you should call them. Hold on, y'all. So in either case, instead of calling them diamond and silk, call them motherfuckers cubic zirconia and polyester, right? And then just look at what the fuck they had on. Then you understand why I'm actually really clowning them. But in other case, I'm looking at, because one of them brought up the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And this is how you know when a motherfucker, right, it's like, oh, I done tap dance enough for you. I've been out there on the football field. I did UFC for you for a little while. I done tap dance long enough. I want one of them seats, right? And then they were like, oh, okay, we get all that, but guess what? Now you got to tap dance to a new different style of music. And then you looking at, okay, your knees ain't how they used to be. Your feet are probably all fucked up and ain't no telling what type of dance these motherfuckers actually really gonna have you do. So, in either case, people, I'm just looking like this. You talk one way to get to where you want to be and act like, in a sense, still keep it real. Then you talk another way because apparently keeping it real really wasn't good for you, or what the fuck you thought they were supposed to bring you. So now you're going to come over here on this side, the bullshit side. And then you say shit like Black Lives Matter, when Black Lives Matter was never our fucking movement in the first place. Then you're going to turn around, and then before I even go any further, black is not a color. I could all these motherfucking lights out right now, and then you couldn't see me if I was black. Right? I mean, you can see me. I'm black. I got black tattoos on my brown skin. So, but the thing about it though is this. Life has no color. So stop calling it black. Stop calling it white. And then, but then again, this is his stupidity, right? If this motherfucker graduated from college, he should have known better that ain't no black person, ain't no white person either. So whoever gave him his goddamn college diploma, he probably only got it because he could run the fucking football. So my whole deal is this. So this motherfucker, he said white. He said Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. And then I'm just like, okay, how come he didn't say yellow to represent the Asians? Right? I mean, since you giving off colors and shit. That's why I say, and then the motherfucker will be like, oh, American lives matter. Because we're American. And then motherfucking cubic zirconia and polyester, they clapping that shit up, right? And knowing damn well this motherfucker, that shit which y'all saw was nothing more than a practice run. They wanted to see how well he do against his own folks. So they put cubic zirconia and polyester out there to see how well he did. And for the most part, they probably looked at, yeah, he about the dumbest box of rocks. This motherfucker don't realize that black is not the color, nor is white. And that you can't put no label on life, because life is every goddamn man. And so again, if I saw this interview, now great the fact I don't know what the fuck Hannibal Money gonna do, but my deal is this: if I saw this interview, and if I was running against his ass, I would use this interview to make this motherfucker look so goddamn stupid. By the time he finished, this motherfucker he ain't gonna know how to wipe his ass. And he done shitted on himself. So, my whole deal is this, people. Y'all gotta learn to listen to these motherfuckers that's running for office. So these motherfuckers will tell you anything. I'm just, oh, one time I asked, if anybody was running for office, and then they looking down the register or whatever, and they trying to find out, well, who ain't registered to vote, and they come across my name, and they come back on my damn door. And then they were like, well, Mr. Harris, how come you ain't registered to vote? I said, because ain't nobody that's running right now ain't worth a damn. They too busy trying to suck dick, kiss ass, or take it up the ass just so they can get in the goddamn office. I need somebody that's gonna be like, no, I don't like the sword fight. No, I don't want to fuck you. I got a wife already. Right? And stop putting me in some type of bullshit ass scandal. Right? And then I'm just one for a motherfucker to actually really just come out and say that one thing that Dolomite said when he was running for president. He said, I would not promise you a chicken in every pot. I would not promise you that I would make every motherfucking thing perfectly clear. If you elect me as your president, I would not promise you a goddamn thing. Right? Because that's exactly what you'll get. Nothing if I win. Now, if a motherfucker actually really came out and said that shit, I would vote because I was like, you know what? That bastard right there, at least he done told me the truth. He done told me the truth after everybody. Motherfuckers be like, oh, I ain't gonna fuck you. And if I do, I'll put Vaseline on. But then they don't put the last Vaseline on. That's just all what these motherfucking presidents done did for as long as I've been living. And I'm pretty sure even beforehand. Now, I know Herschel Walker ain't running for president, but they get that motherfucker ready. They getting ready to do something. And if you ask me, and if you think like me, you go back and watch that video or that interview. I know I've been calling them Cuban zirconia and polyester for the past 10 minutes. But that's what the fuck they are. Right? And I hope this shit get back to their hands. I hope it get back to Herschel Walker. But I already know it ain't. But this is my view on that interview. That motherfucker trying to get it off. That's all it is. If he changed shit, it's surprised the hell out of me. And then again, I was like, okay, well, let me just go down here and see what the fuck. And guess what? I ain't like you gonna know when the fuck I'm coming. So again, that's all I'm saying. And so with that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell me dad, tell me Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, across the street, around the corner, Paul's Harris, aka Crazy Awesome. Hey, my book is out there, AR670-Harris. It's on Amazon.com. Once you go on there, type book by Curtis Harris. It should pop up. Go out and buy it. It's a good read. And if you do buy it, I wish you good luck. But if you don't buy it, guess what? May your balls shrink up to next to nothing, and your pussy dry up to next to nothing. Till next time.